Today we're gonna make this old car run on fuel I made from 100% bean, because a while ago a bunch of my subscribers begged me to do something with beans for a video, but I couldn't think of anything that would be actually cool, until one day I was scrolling on Facebook and I happened upon this old Ford Pinto, and I thought it would be hilarious to run it off of Pinto beans. And since all the subscribers agreed, a couple calls later and I was on my way to pick it up.
Road trip, road trip, road trip.
This is Mike. He and I met through a YouTube post, and I needed his help because we're not just replacing the oil with beans like the Backyard Scientist did. I wanted to replace the gas with beans so that when we floor it, we can really say we're giving it the beans. I knew Mike's experience fixing old cars would help me out, but first we had to make sure the Pinto I found wasn't a pile of junk. All right, so we're getting pretty close to Steve's house here. I think it's just up ahead, actually. There it is. It's the Pinto. Oh, it's in beautiful condition. Look at that. Hell yeah. That sounds good. Mike, what's the professional opinion?
I mean, it runs.
It works. It runs and it sounds pretty decent. And not only was it working, but for only $3,000, it was an absolute steal. So we sealed the deal and started the 300-mile drive back to Mike's garage.
All right, we're on the road.
Oh man, perfect. Over halfway home, things were going great, until they weren't. The wheel exploded on the way back, so.
Yeah, big sparks.
Is it warm?
No.
Oh my God, it's warm.
Yeah.
I found the tire, guys! There it is!
Hey.
Holy shit! Luckily, Steve gave us a spare, but we got off the highway to make sure nothing else was wrong and found this.
Oh, man.
All right, so we had a little bit of emergency meeting here. Yeah, we got a really bad situation going on here. This looks like there's just a straight up crack going around the entire wheel, and it goes like around the whole wheel. I'm not a rocket scientist, but that doesn't look good to me. We still didn't think the rear tires would make it back in one piece. So since the front tires looked a lot better, we decided to try to flip the car around. And that carb fire was a bad sign. And it needs some love, all right? She's a little TLC. She's gonna be good.
Oh boy.
All right, here's the deal. We can't push this off here, so we've engaged the parking brake. We attempt to just tablecloth yank this bad boy off. Hey! Tablecloth. All right. Let's go.
All right, we got it back up. We just pushed. It just worked.
And after another hour of driving, overtired and delirious, we finally made it home. We made it. Yeah. We actually did it. Heck yeah. That was, what a trip. At which point we collapsed from exhaustion and called it a night. Okay, so we're back with the Pinto. Tell me, Mike, how's the Pinto doing? How's she?
Fantastic.
Is it actually?
No, it's not bad. It needs some work, of course, as we expected.
Oh, I love that that's still bungee corded. That's good. Cool. I can get you some of the stuff we have in the car. So I've acquired the beans. Beans. This is all beans. The idea here is we're gonna ferment the beans, turn them into ethanol, and then run the car on that. I'll explain how the process works in a sec, but since it takes about 8 pounds of cooked beans to get 1 cup of fuel, I bought this. Hey guys, how's it going? These are huge cans of beans.
That's a lot.
So there are 12 of these. Actually they're closer to 7 pounds. Yeah, it's like over 80 pounds of beans. It's a lot of beans.
It's a lot of beans.
And the plan to turn them into Beanohol goes like this. Alcohol is made through ethanol fermentation, which is when bacteria eat sugar and break it down to make ethanol. But we can only turn sugar into alcohol, and the beans are less than 1% sugar. So even with all these beans, that would only give us like 3 sips of booze, which is why we need to use amylase, an enzyme that turns starch into sugar. That'll leave us with a mixture containing 12 to 16% sugar, which will heat to an optimal fermentation temperature, add some yeast, and wait for the yeast to do its thing. Once done, we'll strain out the remaining solids before concentrating the ethanol to make it a usable fuel. All right, so anyway, all of these beans need to go in here so we can run the Pinto on Pinto beans. Here's how you make gourmet beans fuel. Step 1, grind beans. Step 2, mix with starch to sugar enzymes. That's amylase. 0.1 to 0.3 teaspoons per gallon.
You bought way too much amylase.
I didn't know how many beans we were buying. Yeah, there we go. So we're just gonna crack this bad boy open. Those are some wet boys. Oh, look at that.
That really does not smell good.
No.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're gonna. Oh, it just hit me.
It's a bad smell.
Woo! Those are ripe. All right.
Oh, good pour.
Oh yeah. I'm a pouring professional. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get in there. Look at that. These beans are going from Pinto to refried real quick. I can't even describe how loud it smells. Like, I mean, it smells really like, it's not necessarily a straight up bad smell. It's just a very strong smell. All right, so that's one. Oh man. I don't think I've ever heard anything like this. And there we go. That is officially 12 cans of beans in a 55-gallon drum. It's a lot of beans. Great, now we warm it up. So we want to set it to, I believe, whatever it says on here. Okay, alpha amylase is most active between 162 and 167F. 160, let's put it right between 160 and 170. There's a little bit of play in that dial, which I don't love. We'll just leave it right there. Okay, and then just dump a whole bag of amylase. No.
One.
One. Yeah, what's crazy is for this like giant drum, like we're putting less amylase in here than you put cheese powder and mac and cheese. 3 and a little?
3 and a bit, yeah. That's very scientific.
Maybe a little more than that.
I mean, what happens if you have too much? Can you have too much?
Probably not. Let me get that stick blender back.
Yeah, science.
Pressure builds up during fermentation, so if we don't want the tank to explode, we have to add a bubbler. So, we have 3 boys that we purchased on Amazon. They're big boys.
I'm gonna drill for that.
How are we gonna? All right, we purchased a hole saw at Lowe's. Shout out Home Depot. I'm gonna put a hole in this now.
I heard the plunk.
And that's how you add metal, that's how you add extra iron content to your beans. So, told you, called it. It'll be fine. That's why we bought Flex Glue. Yeah, there you go. So now, that's honestly, actually, oh, I put it past max.
You blow into it? Yeah, the same thought.
Oh, wait, blow.
I was gonna say, did you drink that?
Yeah, I just figured suck. All right, there we go. That's at about max on both sides. Great. Yeah, so now the air should bubble through, and that's how we're gonna distill bean water. By the next morning, the amylase was done, and Mike added the yeast to our warm vat of beans. But after a few days, we had a problem. Okay, so I am here. Mike called me and hit me up, and he was like, dude, there's a problem with the beans, and it's bad. So we just called the Discord, we talked about it. I'm gonna come check out what the situation is and see what we need to do to fix it, and then we're gonna make this happen, all right? Mike, you're telling me this thing is ripe?
Oh, it's very ripe. It looks disgusting and it smells disgusting.
I'm not ready.
Listen to this shit bubbling.
What is the bubbling?
The bean broth.
No, it is not. It is not.
Straight up is.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding. It's disgusting.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
I've been doing that every day.
Mike?
Every day.
Mike! What? That's like somebody ripped the worst fart you've ever smelled.
It's disgusting. I was not exaggerating. Just wait until you get a look of it.
That's not pretty.
Nope.
That's real. And oh, is it like orange?
Yeah. And honestly,
Why is it orange?
that's pretty good. It usually is so much worse.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah, we can put the lid back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's lid that.
Yup.
Woo! Okay.
You're right.
We need to add water to this.
I can't even describe how.
This is the worst thing I've ever done. I really didn't want to have to start all over, so I was hoping I could come up with a quick fix to save the batch.
Okay, so we need to do two things. We just need like a blanket of any kind. Something to insulate it. To insulate it. Yep. We should get a bottle for a bubbler. Agreed. And we need to add a lot of water. Yes. Why don't we right now, step one, add the water. Okay. Okay. That's so disturbing. Here you go, and oh, that's bad. You know what that smells like? This might be too nasty to say. Say it. Like stomach acid, like bile. Yeah, it does. It smells like bile. Yeah. Oh, look at that froth. What? The frothed up. Okay. We have to churn the mix and test the pH. So, since neither of us really wants to get near the beans, we've got some test strips and we're just gonna duct tape them to the end of this. You were grasping the previously used stick. Okay, anyway. Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Go for it. Give it a test. It's a 3? Here, put it. Yeah, that's pretty close to a 3. 3 or a 4. Is that basic or acidic? No, that's acidic. Yeah, that's so low. I'm not surprised. Honestly, by that smell, I can tell it's acidic. That's wild. That's like, here guys, look at that. That's we put it in and it turned like bright orange pretty much instantly.
And that's when I realized our original beans were full of vinegar and probably contaminated with all kinds of other bacteria from our sloppy prep work.
We got vinegar. We don't know if we can recover.
Throwing it way back, prepared beans in can apparently get some amount of vinegar in with them.
Like a lot.
Losing the batch meant we had to start all over with raw beans. But in the meantime, Mike had been working on the car and now it was finally good enough to drive.
All right, welcome back. We're here in my garage. Got this Lamborghini here. Right now, the car is finally functional, so it's good.
It's good.
That's so exciting. Because the thing is, to really see how the car runs on beans, we gotta know how it runs on regular gas first.
Okay, gas. Gas.
Ooh.
Give it some gas. There you go.
Oh, that's a stiff gas pedal.
Yeah, it is.
She's alive!
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think the car is good to go. I'm gonna attempt to drive this thing. I've never driven a car this old, and Mike's telling me that it's pretty sticky, so I'm gonna try to give this a whirl, see how it drives, see how it sounds, so we can get a feel for it, and that way we'll be able to compare it when we're running on ethanol.
And while past Lewis drives, I'm gonna make some food from today's sponsor, Factor. When I'm in deep working on a video, a lot of times I get so locked in that I forget to eat, which is why Factor meals are such a godsend for me. They send me a box full of freshly made meals that use real ingredients just like I'd make at home.
Add gas. There you go. You got it.
Yo! We got it! Let's go, baby! I'm driving it! Let's go!
I just pop one in the microwave and 2 minutes later, I'm good to go. No mess, no cleanup, and no compromises on quality. Eating balanced meals every day of the week has made a huge difference for my productivity, health, and happiness, so I really can't recommend Factor enough.
Oh.
Yep, so you're in second, so you're gonna have to be going faster.
Yep.
Oh God, dude, oh God. Oh my God.
We got it!
Oh my God.
Let's go!
You might wanna go back to where we were.
I'm going to.
It's great that it's so flexible too. You can pause whenever and pick anywhere from 4 to 18 meals a week. So when you think life's about to get crazy, you can just add on a couple extra. You can head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50Lewis to get 50% off plus free shipping on your very first box from Factor. Supporting sponsors like Factor really helps support the channel, and I love this product, so it's definitely worth a try. Again, that's code 50Lewis at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
And
Yeah, you stalled. Okay, let's switch it
all
because
right,
we're in the
yeah,
middle of
let's
the
switch
intersection.
it and not be in the middle of the road.
Yep.
That lack of experience is exactly why I'm getting a real driver for the final test. But with a working car, it was time to try making some fuel again. So I bought a huge bag of dried pinto beans and soaked them in water until they were ready to boil.
All right, so we filled all of the things with beans. Remember how these were all at like a lower level earlier today? Yeah, they're no longer at a low level.
We got a lot of beans. This is gonna take a minute. Yes.
So I left the beans on the stove to cook while Mike and I prepped the new fermenting rig.
All right, we're sterilizing the barrel.
Scrub daddy.
Scrub daddy. No, that's, hey, no free promo.
Oh, sorry.
All right, no free promo.
And this time we were extra careful and sterilized everything.
All right, this bad boy is sterile.
Originally, I wanted to make several gallons of the stuff over a couple months, but using this new setup, I knew I wouldn't get as much Beanohol. So instead, I decided to use store-bought pure ethanol to tune the car and save the bean fuel for the launch tests and the bean out at the end. And while I kept an eye on the beans, Mike got the Pinto ready to run on them. So we're back at the garage. Mike's been working on the car, and the car's in pretty good shape, but what we have to do now is before we start running it on ethanol, we actually have to install a separate fuel tank for it. And we're gonna be installing this custom big aluminum fuel tank. Dude, Mike has spent like a month on this thing, and it looks amazing. Using an internal tank and fuel pump will let us run smaller batches of fuel. Okay, well, there goes the seat. Yeah, so I think we take this thing, slap it in here,
Yeah.
and just self-tap the shit out of it.
Like a million.
Yeah, like. I mean, I'm normally pretty jank, but this is more jank than even I normally go.
This is impressively bad.
But I think this is good. I think this is plenty.
It'll work.
Okay, so we have our fuel tank mounted. We have our fuel tank mounted. That's what we got. That's how far we've gotten. But yeah, the fuel tank's good. So what do we need to do to this boy now?
We can start running lines
We should run lines.
and get fuel pump.
I think personally it'll make sense to have the pump here rather than there for priming reasons. These are nice fittings. I like this.
So we gotta run the fuel line from back here, all the way up the car, all the way to the front, over to the carburetor, which is right here.
This is where we're gonna be tagging in.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so then the line goes from there, gets run along here, comes over, and then straight over to the fuel pump. So we're in business, baby.
Yeah.
Way to go. And after a few hours of tuning the next day, Mike got it running. I would say it runs slightly less well than it did when we got it from Steve on regular gas.
It runs better than when we got it from Steve.
Does it run better than when we got it from
100%.
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Way to go, Mike. To make it run on ethanol, we had to give the engine more than triple the fuel, which really shouldn't be the case, but the car was far from running perfectly, and we were pretty sure there was a vacuum leak. Once the beans would finish fermenting, I strain out the solids and put the liquid in the freezer to increase the alcohol percentage. This is called freeze jacking, and it works because water freezes at a much higher temperature than ethanol. So after freezing the mixture, by letting it melt over another container, the alcohol drains out of the ice, raising the alcohol content up to around 30%. But I needed a much higher concentration than that, so since we weren't drinking it, I separated the alcohol and water through a process called salting out. Water and alcohol are completely miscible, which means they mix completely, but on a molecular level, they're still separate in there. So when I add this potassium carbonate, a salt, to this 80 proof booze, the salt and the water molecules are attracted to each other and sink to the bottom, causing this separation. Then we can harvest the highly pure Beanohol on top. And once I did that, it was time to put everything together. We started with a gallon of store-bought pure ethanol to make sure everything was working right. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take it across the bridge. Holy crap! That was insane!
Do we have fuel still?
I can add more. Are we out of gas? We might be out of gas.
Off the road. Just give me a gallon. We might have burnt it already.
That's hilarious, if true. I don't know how fast it burns gas. Is that empty? No way, that's... Holy shit.
That's not a good sign for us.
No, so that's fine. This thing burns a gallon of alcohol insanely quickly. So every time that we're not actually driving somewhere, we just turn the engine off and let the thing coast. All right, here's my question to you. How much do you think each gallon of the ethanol this thing runs on costs? What do you think the actual cost of it is? Because it's not the same as pump ethanol.
Probably $5 a gallon.
You think 5?
$50 a gallon.
He's got it.
Yeah.
It's 50 bucks a gallon, bro. This little joyride that we're having right here is a $200 fuel experience. Imagine all of the R&D cost. Isn't it crazy? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, pretty much, yeah, that whole insane rip we just did, 50 bucks. And now that we knew that it worked on ethanol, it was time to answer the question that got us started on this a year ago. Okay, I think it's time to finally give it the beans. Before we did the world's first bean out, we wanted to see if we could just give it the beans by dropping the clutch and launching it up the hill.
There you go, that's the beans right there. Hopefully it actually drives. Okay. Stupid. Dude, the amount of smoke that came off that was crazy. Holy crap, that ripped.
And as we burned through our bean fuel with an insanely smoky bean out, I knew all of our work was worth it.
That's nuts. Dude, holy crap. That's mental!
Thank you guys so much for watching. You mean the world to me, and I hope you're stoked for what's next.
Dude, the ground is fucking scorched. The spray on the back. That's crazy. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here.